So here we go with number 12. Very similar problem. All right, so construction on the when they built my new high school. All right, and there was a large construction ditch, and water was entering the ditch at a rate of 46 t cubed sine of the cube root of t, and that is valid for an interval from 0 to 5, where this W of t is, because we're dealing with water, is gallons per day. So this is a rate because it's gallons per day, and t is measured in days. So the first thing we're asked to do is to evaluate this 0 to 5. All right, so we're going to go back to the calculator. We got to enter in this equation. So we have 46, and we have x cubed, and the quick way to get a cube is math 3. And then we have the sine of that inner function. So we have the sine, and then in parentheses we have the cube root. Well, go back to the math button and notice that option 4 is cube root. So 3 is cube and 4 is cube root. So we have the cube root of t, or in this case x is the variable we're using. And then we have to close up sine, and now we're set to go. So back to the main screen. All right, we see from the previous problem the work is still there, so we'll clear that out. Math 9, starting at 0. This time we're ending at 5. And again, our function is in y1. So we're going to do alpha trace, option 1 for y1, and x was our variable. All right, giving this a moment, we're coming up with that value. So 7,134.372. All right. So that's our value for this definite integral. Now, what does this 7,000 and change actually represent? Well, again, we took an integral of W. W is gallons per day. So this is going to be total number of gallons. Gallons of what? Oops, sorry for the crookedness here. Gallons of water. All right, entered the dish. Let's see, t is 0 to 5, and t is measured in days, so during the first 5 days. Right? And we could also have written during 0 less than or equal to t less than or equal to 5, and that would also be 100% correct. Example 13, we got prom tickets on sale. We see the rate at which the tickets are being sold, and we have the domain from 0 to 15, where t is measured in tickets per minute. So again, that verifies we're dealing with a rate because we see our units are object units over time units. And then x is measured in minutes. All right, so we have to find the total number of tickets sold during the first 15 minutes of power block. That's just a special homeroom during in my school there. So we're interested in the total, so that's an integral. The domain or range that we're dealing with is interval is 0 to 15, so 0 and 15. And then we have our t of x dx. All right, that's our rate. We're taking the integral of the rate. So this is the same thing as the integral from 0 to 15 of our 12x e to the opposite of x over 4 dx. So if we go to our calculator, which is right here, all right, there's our function, 12x e to the opposite of x divided by 4. And back to the main screen, and we're going to do math 9 to bring up our definite integral. The low bound is 0 and the upper bound is 15. Our function is located in y1, so again we do alpha trace, and option 1 is y1, and that function is written in terms of x, so we're going to have a dx right here. And when we hit enter, we see 170.551. All right, so that's going to be our answer. Oh, get off the screen there. My bad. So we see that we're equal to 170.5518, and our units is just going to be tickets. That's how many tickets. Now, obviously, they're not going to sell 5/5500ths of a ticket. So quite often with problems like this, they're going to ask you to round to the nearest whole number, and if that's the case, then we're looking at approximately 171 tickets being sold.